Ask yourself, if somebody gave you $100 million, would you return to work? And if the answer is no, you're not operating in your purpose. Because if you're operating in your purpose and someone gave you $100 million, you would figure out how to use those resources to enhance that purpose and make it greater. That's when you know you're doing it. Also, ask yourself, if what I'm doing, would I be willing to do this for free as long as I could have my basic necessities met? And if the answer is yes, that's your purpose. So once you are operating in that purpose, you really, it's not really work, it's a labor of love. And what happens whenever you love what you do, you end up doing it so well and you love it so much, you'll do it for free that you end up getting paid to do it.
Wow.
So I've never asked anybody, do y'all need a speaker? Have y'all thought about who's gonna be your keynote next year? Consider me. Will you ask so-and-so, will you use your connections to get them to? I've never asked not a living soul to invite me, buy a book, buy a lecture, nothing.
Yes, sir.
So it happened because I consider it organic growth.
Okay.
I'm teaching, people like it. I've never even posted a lecture myself. Everything that I share on social media, I got from somebody that's seen something I did in real life and thought it was worthy enough to put it out there.
Yes, sir.
So that's how it works. So it's an organic growth. The people put it out there. So I go there, as they say, by popular demand.
Yes, sir.
But never planned it, but I do love it.
Yes, sir.
Because there's nothing that you can do on the planet greater than have an impact on the people of God's mind. And because of that, knowing that I've been able to do that, we just met a doctor at the hotel. And she came and she said, "That's Brother Nuri, her husband. We've been watching you," so forth, so forth. Now these are doctors,
yes, sir,
that are going to the medical field, but they operating off of things that I've learned from a teacher that's outside the system of the white man's educational system. And now they're taking it back to make themselves a better doctor to serve their people. I've met right now over 50 children named after me. Over 50. That's what I met.
Remember the brother I told you I met that drive the truck?
The truck? Yeah, I showed the brother earlier. He had Nuri's Transportation LLC.
With the brother in the bow tie. With the bow tie.
And you said, "Hey, this is you?" I was like, "No, I sold my truck." And but the brother was inspired by something he heard and seen me do, decided to name the company, et cetera, et cetera. So that's to me, that's a high compliment. Wow. You know, that whatever my witness bearing is to my teacher has generated that kind of response, that people feel like they're getting something that much value, that they would name their child after me, their business after me, or invite me to want to speak and even be willing to put money in my hand for me saying something I'll be willing to come and say for free.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I want to segue into mathematics of the mind, but we also want to do some scriptural decoding. I was listening to a lecture that you did, and it was entitled "The Original Man, His God, His Purpose, and His Wife."
Wow.
Right, and you discussed the difference between a father and a daddy, a male and a man. And could you explain that to us again?
Well, you know, there's a lot of things in our vernacular we use as interchangeable with one another. You know, we'll say daddy, we'll say father. We'll say mama, we'll say mother. But they really have two different definitions. We say information, we'll say knowledge. Two different definitions.
Right.
So a daddy is a man that knows how to plant a seed in the vaginal tract that can bring birth to a son or a daughter. But a father is someone that knows how to take the child that comes from that process and teach them how to successfully navigate in the world they brought them into. Same as a mother, same versus a mama. So we have, in the black community, we have too many daddies and not enough fathers. In fact, listen to the sisters' language. When they're not with the person that they have a child with, the term they call them is my baby daddy.
My baby daddy.
What did the brother say about the sister that he's not with?
My baby mama.
My baby mama. But you very rarely hear them say, "This is the father
Of my child.
of my child. this is the mother. Because our mind already knows somehow that there is a difference between a daddy and a father and a mama and a mother. So the father is a higher expression of manhood. It is whenever that person that planted the seed that brought birth to the child actually takes responsibility for the child to cultivate the mind of the child to help them to navigate in the world that they're living in. That's a fundamental definition that we see operating without anybody having to teach us. It just happens like that.
Yes, sir. So, and majority of my audience is male.
Yes, sir.
Between the ages of 25 and 36. So, and as we see with, society and especially in our community, a lot of the brothers are just struggling. They're struggling with development, manhood, and things like that. You wrote a book entitled A Well-Made Man.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And in this book, you go over many things. You talk about the 12 leadership traits from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Yeah. And you also talk about returning to the original man. So I wanna read what you said here when it says, when we are dealing with the return of the original man, we are not talking about the first man from trillions of years ago coming back today himself physically.
Right.
We are not talking about his return. Well, we are not talking about his return as a character, but the return of his character in us.
Yeah.
We are dealing with what really makes a man who and what he is, his quintessence, his core, the inner spiritual self. We are not a body with a mind in it. We are a body wrapped around it.
Yes.
So in our language, as we're taught in the Nation of Islam, the original man, who is the original man? The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe, right? But now, for someone who isn't familiar with that, haven't studied it, how do you connect the original man to all of the black men, all men trying to grow and to develop themselves?
Well, it's simple mathematics. All you need is the first page of the Bible, and it locks you in. Because you go right down to the first page at the bottom, Genesis 1:26. It says, let us make man. How? In the image and likeness of. Right. So image is a physical reflection. Likeness is a spiritual reflection. Image is outside. Likeness is inside. So we are made inside and outside just like God. That's why even in Arabic, we play with it, the word Allah as an acronym. Mm-hmm. If you take an acronym is when you have a word and every letter represents another word. Mm-hmm. So if you broke down Allah in an acronym, that shows you image. An arm, a leg, an arm, and a head. Mm-hmm. But likeness, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that means that we have the same mind, nature, and spirit and character of the originator. It's inside of us. The difference is that he manifested, fully developed, and we have not yet developed it. So the God within has to be. So the fact that we're in the image and the likeness of God means that as the direct descendant of the originator of the heavens and earth, we possess God's genetic makeup, holy heredity, and we possess divine DNA. That's us. That's from us.
Hold on, Brother Minister. You saying that we are descendants?
Direct descendants.
Of God?
Yeah.
The black man.
Yeah, the black. So this is what messes us up.
Yes, sir.
We put too much stock in our physical birth certificates and not enough into our spiritual birth certificates. Every time we start talking about what runs in the family, every time black people say this, always a negative. What diabetes? It runs in the family. Well, cancer, it runs in the family. Gout, it runs in the family. Womanizer, it runs in the family. Obesity, always negative. But if we are created in the image and likeness of God, that means that everything that's true about God is true about us. If we're in his image and likeness, then that means when he looks at us, he sees himself. Our problem is when we look at ourselves, we don't see him. If we're in the image and likeness of God, that means everything true about God is true about you. So let's put the physical birth certificate to the side and let's use our spiritual birth certificate. Yes. And if we looked at that, it wouldn't be Tyrone on the top. It'd be the supreme being. So when we start talking about what runs in the family, it ain't diabetes and high blood pressure. It ain't womanizing. What runs in our family is everything that you see God has done, we can do. That's what runs in our family. So that process, the fact, once you come to the realization that we are the first people on the planet. We are the direct descendants of the originator of the heavens and the earth.